AutoHotkey is a free and open source automation tool for Windows that allows people to create scripts, macros, and hotkeys to automate repetitive tasks. And I've been using AutoHotkey for a while now, and I've learned a lot about it since the past year. In this video, I'm going to explain and create some AutoHotkey scripts that you might also need for your workflow. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you most certainly focus on productivity. That is, getting more work done in less time. And if you're one of them, you should definitely check out AutoHotkey as it will save you a bunch of time. This is their website. And to install AutoHotkey, you just need to click on this download button and your download. Okay, there are also two options more. There's one download version 2.0 and there's also one download version 1.1. It is deprecated, that is, you don't get support for it anymore. But I recommend you to use the version 2.0. Just download it and you will get it in your downloads folder. Now, please don't tell me that you don't know how to install this. It's just basic next a bunch of times. And once you download it, you'll get to something called AutoHotkey Dash. It's just this screen here, and here you can do nothing. So just close it. Now, as I do to create a AutoHotkey script, I just go into any folder. For now, it is my desktop. I'll go into right click, new, and then a AutoHotkey script. I'll just click on this. I'll name it something, let's say main, as I use main for all my Python scripts, and just go for minimal for v2. So it just adds requires v2.0. It's something you don't need to worry about. So just create it and it'll be here in your desktop. I'll bring it in the middle right now. And you just need to click this. Nothing happened. Because right now our script is empty and it needs some commands to ensure that it works completely fine. So to do that, just select the script, right click, open it, and select any app you like. I'm going to go with notepads because I like the interface too much. Let me zoom in on this, and this is what you will see in the beginning. Now, if you're from a programmer background, you might know what comments are. But for those who don't know, comments are basically just words which don't get interpreted by AutoHotkey in this case, and whatever you type doesn't get compiled. In simple words, it doesn't get read by the program. So if I type in anything right now, save this, and if I run this now, it'll say me that this global variable appears to be never assigned a value. Now this is something completely different. This is talking about something about a variable, but basically it's just saying this is an error. Whenever you get this pop-up screen, it just means that you're getting an error. So what you need to just do is abort this, go to your text editor or go open it again and just add a semicolon before it. I just add the space for convention and readability. After adding a semicolon, I just add the space and type in anything I want. For example, if I type in right now the same thing, I save it, minimize it, and run it, nothing appears to happen. And this is a good thing because if you go to your system tray bar, you get nothing because there is nothing in your script that needs to be read. It's just a plain and empty command that nobody bothers to care. So let's start with something very simple. Tapping out your email. Some of our passwords are very long, like something at the rate somewhere.com. So this is our email and it takes ages to write this. So you can just create a script to automate this. I'm just going to cut it using Ctrl X and I'm going to create a simple script to automate this and type it. So what you just need to write is colon and whatever you want to write. For example, I'm gonna keep the hotkey as @ email so that whenever I type at email, I get my email. And to pass in the actual value, you just need to complete it by two other colons. So it'll be your main hotkey reference in the middle, followed by two colons in the start and the beginning. And after the last two colons, you just need to add your email address, which I copied it just few seconds ago. And if I save this, if I run this, I should get no error. But this time, if I go to the system tray bar, I get the auto hotkey symbol. Now, if I open a new tab into my Notepads app and type in at email and add a space followed by it, I get something at somewhere.com. But there's a catch. You need to type in a space after your abbreviation to get it registered and complete the hotkey. Now, to avoid this, you can just add an asterisk here and save it. And this time, instead of clicking here, obviously you can do double click and click yes, but instead you can just go to the system tray bar, right click, reload script. This will reload the script for you. And now, when I go to my new notepad, I type in at email, I get something very unexpected, that is something dot something dot something at somewhere.com. So instead of adding a space or an enter or a tab, you can just type in at email and it'll auto register it for you, and you don't need to add a space. That is one thing. But here's a catch. Please don't add annoying comments which you don't even read. Just add it for reference, as I added in my AutoHotkey scripts, that is type out the email. Now this is something you can do with AutoHotkey. The same thing you can do similarly is auto completing your slangs. If you are an Gen Z like me, although I don't use slangs much, but let's say you use some slangs like by the way, and you want it to go as by the way. So you can just create a hotkey for that. You can just type in two colons and BTW, two colons, and then followed by what you need to auto-complete it. In this case, it is by the way. If I save this, go to my task tray, system tray, right click, reload script, and whenever I go to this new tab and type in BTW space, I'll get by the way. But instead of adding the space, I'll add in this slang, this thing, so that I get the point what I'm doing. And I can just type in BTW and I'll get by the way. You can also do this with, you saw what I just did? I just pressed Control D to duplicate the line. It doesn't work on the native Windows notepad, so don't try it in there. This is the Notepads app, which I got it from the Microsoft Store. Just type in Notepads. It is only available on Microsoft Store. Just type in Notepads. You'll get the Notepads app and just install it from here, and you'll get this transparent notepad. And now if I do Control D and type in TBH, and instead of by the way, I can type in to be honest or to be very, very honest. Let's keep it very, very honest. Now, if I just save this and type in TBH space, it doesn't work. And that is because I haven't reloaded this script yet in AutoHotkey. I have saved it, but I haven't reloaded it. So what I have to do is go here, right click and reload it. So now if I type in TBH right now, I'll get to be very, very honest. To be very, very honest, like the video. Now, AutoHotkey is not just limited to this. You can do some very useful stuff, like for example, opening a code editor like VS Code using this. Let me type a comment to write in open VS Code. Okay, I can add a hotkey like Control Alt C. Now you might be wondering, whoa, what does this to me? It basically means Control and Alt. It's a way of representing this in AHK, aka Auto Hotkey, and you can look for it in the documentation right here, which is hashtag for window key, exclamation for Alt, this caret for Control, and plus for Shift. So I'm keeping the keystroke Control Alt and C. Now to finish this, I just need to add in two colons, and I don't need to specify two colons before this because it's a shortcut and I don't know why, but it just works that way. Now to do it, I just need to type in run and then code.exe. I just have to add this into apostrophes, save it, reload the script, and just type in Control Alt C and it'll open VS Code. And you can do this with any application. So I can stay in any app. Let's say I stay here itself and type in Control Alt C and it'll still open up this VS Code app, whatever that means. And I can open any app like that. Even I can open the chrome.exe. Also, some interesting stuff you can do is control volume with mouse. Now, this is a very basic example, and this only works if you have a back key which you are willing to abolish from your regular use. What it basically does is if you select the back button on your mouse and use the scroll wheel up and down, you can change the volume however you like. For example, let me try and show it to you. I'll type an X button 1, which basically in turn means the back button, and scroll wheel down. Now, and is used for multiple keystrokes. Like if I want to type an Alt plus back button, I can use the ampersand sign. I just need to do set volume and immediately forget how it works. How to set volume in auto hotkey. V2. Okay, sound set volume. So I just need to type in sound set volume and then plus, or is it down? Yes, -2 or -1, how we like it. I'll just type in Alt Z or just zoom out a bit so you can clearly see how this is going. And if I just copy it down and instead of wheel down, I type in wheel up and I just duplicate it using Control D. And instead of minus, I keep plus. And now if I save this, go in here, right click and reload script, it tells me invalid key name. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, it's just basically not scroll, but it's wheel down basically. And now if I save it and go here and right click it, it should work. And now if I open this tab and hold my back button which scrolls, I can control the volume through my mouse, whichever app I am. It allows you to do this with only the scroll wheel in VLC, but here you can do it with any app you like. But obviously, it doesn't do the back button. Like here, if I press the back button, it won't work. But if I go back and press the forward button, it will work because I did not define the forward button here. And the forward button is X button too. You can look up for everything in the official AutoHotkey documentation, but you just need to get habituated to its language, that is to say,